Hey everybody, today I'm talking about scapulo-thoracic movement. Very exciting stuff, right? Here's the scapula. I'll go over, maybe I'll review real quick the different bone landmarks on the scapula. Here's a scapula, and this is anterior. You can see the coracoid process here, and if I turn it around, here's the back of the scapula, the posterior with the spine of the scapula, and it curves around here to form the acromion process. Right? It's the acromion process from the back here that actually curves around forward and articulates with your collarbone, your clavicle. And then here's the little depression here, the fossa, that articulates with the head of the humerus. So this is the scapula, the shoulder blade. And scapulo-thoracic movement is the movement of the scapula on the back of the ribs. And it moves in many different ways. It goes up or elevates, it goes down or depresses. And both of them can move in and out. They can adduct and abduct. And they can actually rotate, can pivot like this. And they call this upward and downward rotation. And some books will talk about it from this inferior angle of the scapula here. But I like to talk about it from the perspective of the humerus joint, the glenohumeral joint here, because it's really, it's moving on the ribs to kind of orient upward or downward the humerus, right? So that you can move your arm up or down. It's like moving the girdle up or down. One of the confusions that come in with this movement is that you might hear protraction and retraction, and that's described as forward and backward movement. But other books will talk about retraction or just talk about adduction and abduction. And they're really sort of the same thing, but they're happening on a rounded or cylindrical rib. So you think about your rib case as rounded, right? The thorax. And it's scapulo-thoracic movement. So the scapula isn't moving independently, it's moving on the back of your ribs. So again, it can elevate and depress and adduct or abduct. And then let's see, elevate, depress, adduct, abduct, rotate upward, rotate downward. So in adduction and abduction, as it moves on the round rib cage, as it's abducting, abducting, moving away, it's coming forward. That's protraction. And as it's adduction, adduction, as it's coming backwards, it's retracting, right? So again, it's moving on a rounded rib cage and it's coming forward as the scapula move away from each other. It's coming forward in space. You could say as it's moving away, it's abducting, but it's also moving forward a bit as it moves on that rounded rib case forward, protraction. And as it comes backward or adducting, the scapula are moving towards one another, but it's also going to slide back a little bit as it comes back off of that lateral rib case. So adduction is paired with retraction. Hopefully that makes sense to you.